Hello everybody, this is Scott from the Nibiru channel. Welcome back to Planet X News. One of our subscribers has sent me an article coming out of a London periodical, The Sun. That's the name of the online newspaper, The Sun. And the information detailed in this article is quite disturbing and quite alarming. It talks about the very high possibility of a volcanic eruption on Mount Teed in the Canary Islands off of the coast of Africa, which could potentially threaten the coastlines of the United States, Central America, the Caribbean, South America, Western Africa, and also all the way up into England, the UK. Now, I'll be quite honest with you, I've never heard of this volcano ever before until now. But apparently the threat is very, very real because they were actually holding tsunami exercises, tsunami warning exercises on the east coast of the United States. But once again, I didn't hear anything about this. Now, we're just looking at some Google Maps. La Palma, this island here, is also involved in this threat, and Mount Teed right here. Now, apparently, there has been quite a lot of seismic activity in the region over the last couple of days, specifically over this past weekend. So let's just get a good gauge on what we're looking at here. This is the area that we're referring to right here off the coast of Africa. And we're looking at tsunami waves that would make their way all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, impacting the United States and the Caribbean, and also all the way down into South America. Now, I really wasn't sure about the geography of this area and what this volcano consists of and how this would cause a tsunami. But as I looked at this further, this is a very, very large volcano, and some of the information that I got was once again very disturbing. If this volcano explodes, there is a very high possibility that massive landslides and a total collapse of the volcano would send a tidal wave of more than 300 feet high all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, impacting the east coast of the United States. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you live anywhere on the east coast of the United States, specifically low-lying areas like the entire state of Florida, all the way up into the state of New York City, Manhattan, Long Island, Rhode Island, Connecticut, all of these areas, New Jersey, they would be absolutely inundated with floodwaters. A 328-foot high tsunami or tidal wave surge would be absolutely devastating to these regions. Now, the same would apply to the coastline of South America, specifically over here in Brazil. They would actually feel this tsunami effect probably much sooner than the United States. Now, I want to get directly into this article, and again, this is coming from The Sun over in the UK, and let's just get rid of this ad. And the headline states, Mega Tsunami Fear. This is the reason people are worried about Mount Teed volcano threat on Tenerife. Now, it states that the volcanic eruption on nearby La Palma could send a 100-meter high wave traveling directly across the Atlantic Ocean as fast as a jumbo jet. This is what experts fear. Well, let's see. A jumbo jet flies at approximately, anywhere between 500 and 600 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. And if you're not great with the metric conversions, 100 meters is equivalent to 328 feet. So that would be one hell of a wave that would be coming across the Atlantic Ocean. Now, they've already put together a computer animated model showing this destruction. We're going to get into that in a minute. Here are some photographs of the volcano. Now, this aerial photograph here, Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, volcanoes are pretty scary to begin with. But having a volcano that is basically a huge island like this, and if this blast would occur and cause a massive landslide, this would create this tsunami effect. I know back some time ago, there was a massive landslide somewhere in Alaska, which produced a massive wave, a massive tidal wave. And thank God it wasn't in a very heavily populated area, because as high as the wave was, it would have inundated any type of populated area and probably wiped out everyone that would have been living there. Now, this is just part of the computer animated model, and this is just a still photograph, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the computer aided model. It's very scary. I will definitely admit it's very scary. So we're going to go ahead and just pan down here. And we're going to go ahead and play this. And what this is going to show you is the possibilities that if this volcanic activity occurs and the landslide occurs, that will send this tsunami crashing in to the shores of the United States and South America, and also into the Caribbean. I'm going to go ahead and play that for you again. When I was looking at this, I was pretty thrown back by this, because something like this would come out of the blue and we may not even know about it. Now, there is supposed to be tsunami detection buoys, but as much deception that has been going on with information that we should be receiving on earthquakes and volcanic activity, our magnetosphere. I mean, it's very hard to say, ladies and gentlemen, if we would even be notified of something like this. Now, I'm not too familiar with this La Palma volcano and this Mount Teed. I'm going to look into this a little further, and I'll be quite honest, I did not see any earthquake information pertaining to what has gone on here in this region. However, looking down, let's just pan back up here, looking into this one article, which is connected to this article, there it is. These are all of the earthquakes that occurred over the weekend. I mean, just looking at this, that is a massive, massive volcano. I believe it's been dormant since possibly the 1940s or 1950s. But now, all of a sudden, with the increase and uptick in earthquake activity, everyone on the east coast of the United States, the Caribbean, and South America are now under the possible threat of a 300-foot tidal wave coming across the Atlantic Ocean and crashing into the shorelines. So once again, we start to think about the mess that we're having with these coronal holes on our sun and what is affecting our sun. Well, personally, I know what the issue is. The other issue is getting the rest of the world to wake up and open up their eyes, because the threat is real. It's not a fairy tale. Or sooner or later, and it's probably going to be sooner, we are going to have a massive cataclysmic event, whether it be an earthquake, a volcano, a tsunami. We're already having devastating weather across the globe. My heart and prayers go out to everyone living in Australia that is putting up with this massive cyclone Debbie impacting their shores, and the flooding there is going to be catastrophic. There's going to be a lot of damage in that area of Australia. And now we're going to have the constant threat of what is happening on this volcano sitting off the coast of Africa. I'm going to leave a link to this information in the description box under the video, and hopefully this never happens. But with the increase in earthquake activity from all of the solar winds and the coronal holes, this just might become reality very, very quickly. So we're going to keep our eye on what's happening on these two island volcanoes. If we get any updated information, we will bring it to you immediately. And ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, stay updated, stay informed, and stay tuned. I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to Food for Liberty. If you are interested in emergency supplies to keep on hand, I would visit foodforliberty.com, and the link will be in the description box under the video. Don't forget to subscribe to Planet X News and the Nibiru channel for all of your current updates. I'd also like to thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. Hello everybody, this is Scott from the Nibiru channel. Welcome back to Planet X News. One of our subscribers has sent me an article coming out of a London periodical, The Sun. That's the name of the online newspaper, The Sun. And the information detailed in this article is quite disturbing and quite alarming. It talks about the very high possibility of a volcanic eruption on Mount Teide in the Canary Islands off of the coast of Africa, which could potentially threaten the coastlines of the United States, Central America, the Caribbean, South America, Western Africa, and also all the way up into England, the UK. Now, I'll be quite honest with you, I've never heard of this volcano ever before until now. But apparently the threat is very, very real, because they were actually holding tsunami exercises, tsunami warning exercises on the east coast of the United States. But once again, I didn't hear anything about this. Now, we're